Hello, everyone. World's in turmoil. Let's seek connection. My name is Ambassador Terry Earthwind Nichols. You see me here on social media a lot, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. And it's part of my Native American spiritual journey is for world peace. And you really can't get to world peace until you first have inner peace so that you can give peace. And then when we're able to do that, we're going to create one world, one love, one people, one peace around the world. With all the turmoil, political upheavals, climate, and everything else, people are searching for some sort of connection, some people to talk to, friendships, people who are thinking the same thing they're thinking without a political agenda, without preconceptions of what someone else should or should not think, but rather just someone, well, like you and me right now, to talk to. So what do you say? Well, about anything you want. Right now, I'm not liking it being in the world right now, but there's days like any other where it's not a lot of fun. So you learn something from it. Then there's those days where it's a lot of fun and you learn something from there as well. Because we learn in this world. There's no duality. There's no pass fail. There's no do-overs, because when you do over, something changes anyway. You learn from the first time, so it's not really a do-over. It's not even a repeat. It's new. So I'm sitting here today in such a way that just to listen. Maybe give you some idea. You see, I'm a commissioned Stephen minister as well. What is that? It's a non-denominational outreach and support network internationally out of Kansas City, Missouri in the United States. It reaches all over the world. Non-denominational means anyone can talk to anyone about issues that they're dealing with, because it's at need ministry. So what's ministry? Is it Christian? Is it Hindi? It's everything. It's non-denominational. It's human to human. Okay? And I believe the most powerful service we can provide each other is anything that is from the heart for the heart. So in other words, it's heart to heart, original. It's a dialogue where you just get to vent, get rid of frustrations, those types of things. But it's also a place to reach out and just connect with someone. Okay, there's a whole lot of people on the internet right now, maybe even watching this video, this live stream, which will be video pretty soon, who doesn't get to talk to anybody all day long. And mostly because it's a choice, but there are some that they're just stuck in their predicament, physically or otherwise, where they can't get out. This is getting out. This is touching someone else in an energetic fashion, as opposed to reaching out and touching somebody. That's always nice. And there's things to be said about, you have to touch someone or they're not really there, and those kinds of things. Those are categorizing for the sake of self. So if a person says, oh, you can't really touch somebody, you can't really connect with somebody on the internet on one of these cameras because you're not really there. That's wrong. You really are there, not in a physical sense. Your mind and their mind are connected. Okay? There's real connection there. I know I am an international thought leader and speaker and great to get on stage all over the world, and I love it. But I have a huge amount of very dear, very close friends that I've never met in person. Doesn't mean I don't like them or appreciate them or love them as much as them being my next door neighbors, probably more so than my next door neighbors because I'm always seeing them. Okay. Whereas my next door neighbors can almost get boring, not because they are boring. It's just because we're always connecting and saying hi to each other, blah, 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 blah. Whereas when I reach out to I'm in middle eastern Atlantic seaboard, up in the mountains, in the beautiful Appalachian Mountains called the Smoky Mountains. And when I reach out to one of my dear friends in Washington, D.C. or Chicago or New York or Paris or Berlin or wherever it may be, that is special because we are connecting consciously to each other as opposed to seeing each other on the street. Or maybe get into a chat room or be on a conference where I see a friend. I'll private messaging. Okay. Are you from South Africa? No, I'm not. I'm a Native American, born and raised right here in the US of A. And I've traveled all over the world, but no, I am not South African. Thanks for that, 𝐸𝐴𝐵𝐿. That's very nice. Let me put that up there so people can see that. Are you from South Africa? Well, no, I'm not. Doesn't mean that I cannot connect with people there. I have friends and colleagues there. I have mentees in a couple of 3 different African countries. India, had a German for a while, had a German citizen living in Thailand for a while, across the United States. So I've had mentees all over where if you don't know what a mentee is, it's kind of like a coach, but it's not. A coach, you go to a person and you ask them how to do something, they teach you how to do it and send you off on your way. A mentee comes to a mentor to talk, like we're doing right now, actually. And the idea of that is to get feedback from a person of knowledge, possibly in the industry that they have questions on, which happens a lot, or my political expertise in a lot of instances. And nice knowing you. First time here, I saw the time zone. Well, thank you. And the mentor, like myself, because I'm not the only one that mentors this way, we not only mentor with people in industries that we've worked, we mentor with people who we've never worked in that industry, which is exciting. And you may be asking yourself, okay, they're excited about working with somebody they don't have any knowledge to work with. True and untrue. True, the statement is correct. Untrue, the fact that I can research what they're doing, what their company's doing, whatever the situation may be, from the eyes of the customer and not the eyes of an old pro. So I'm not really that young. Okay, I'm 72 years old and loving it. Okay, I've outlived my entire family. And when we do that as mentors. We are able to connect with our mentee on a number of different things that may be coming up. There may be some family issues that we can lend some support to. There may be, well, here's a good one. One of my chief executives wanted to get my feedback on a project that his corporation was going to do. And that was to acquire a company that's not in their industry. And I told him, genius, perfect, go for it. What a great idea. What drove you to do that? Okay. And he told me, well, they intend to acquire only a part of that company, not the whole company. And I said, that's interesting. What makes you want to do just part? Well, our company is paying very high insurance right now to a major corporation, whereas we feel if we bought the division of an insurance company that covers our insurance needs, it will lower our expenses in the insurance portions of our budget and draw in new income streams. And it has yet another, this particular division of another insurance company has some options to offer insurance to the employees for their personal families and those kinds of things at a much better rate, which is very nice. And I said, that's really good. In fact, that's very smart. You know, traditionally, I call the last century's business model, pre-COVID really, business model is acquire and get big, get powerful. Well, since COVID, that's not necessarily true. There's a new business model out there that's driven by achievement, not by by the bottom line. And when you have a company full of people who are achieving regularly, they're working harder, they're working smarter, they're coming up with more ways to both save on expense side as well as draw in new revenue, like this buying part of an insurance company, and feed off of the energy of each other rather than just 3 or 4 people going at high energy and burning themselves out and then having to leave the company. So the new business model is based on achievement. Now, the result is the financial part of the company and the stockholders, they're loving this because they're growing at a faster rate than they used to based on a goals and sales quota system. Because people who are actively engaged can expand quicker and come up with new ideas. So the idea of connecting with another company, for instance, is nothing new. The reason for it is quite spectacular. It's forward thinking. It's thinking about the future of the company from the employee perspective and their rate of growth rather than the chief executive's board coming up with new ideas. Okay. So we're talking about the world in turmoil and connecting. That's some ways of connecting via a mentor or a coach or something like that. You know, I have lifelong friends that I can talk to about anything, even things that they don't know a single thing about. They have some basic principles and authentic demeanor that I know that what comes out of their mouth is from their heart and what they believe. Not that what they want me to believe, but what they believe, and in a sharing, supportive manner, as opposed to, do you do this, you do that, what are you thinking, that's not right, don't do that, don't do this, um, type of thing. That's not an exchange, okay? That's not an exchange. And when I was writing my book about consortium business model for the 21st century, I consulted with a couple of them about the idea and the concept, and reflected back to them when we used to work together and how successful that basic work principle was. And they were ecstatic about me writing that up and putting it out. And so I got to send them a PDF of the pre-published book. And they gave me some good ideas and some good feedback to add in there, stuff that I had forgotten. And from that connection, we are even closer than we've probably ever been. Why? Because I still value who they are, and they still value who I am. Now, I have very good friends and colleagues post-COVID, since the lockdown, that I value very highly and respect them. And they value me very highly and they respect me. And that support, that connection of family, really helps my mental well-being as well as theirs as well, because they know, like a very good, very close friend, deep connection friend, whatever they ask me or talk to me about stays between them and I. My wife doesn't even know some of the conversations I've had in the last few months with very dear, close colleagues who I've never hugged, never been anywhere other than a Zoom call or a WhatsApp conversation. And I won't, because that communication is between us and us only. So, can you talk to me? Well, sure, you can talk to me right here today. Yeah, you can put in the chat box something. You can also look up Ambassador Terry Earth, Wind Nichols on the internet. There's only one in the world, so I'm pretty easy to find. Ambassador Terry Earth and Wind, one word, Nichols. Now, I am Chickamauga Cherokee, so my tribal elder name is Earthwind. Gado Onule, his breath across the earth. And I use that publicly because a lot of indigenous people don't necessarily do that. I use it publicly because Terry Nichols is such a common name that my last research was plus 17,000 Terry Nichols in North America. That's US and Canada, basically, but it's also Mexico. Mexico is part of North America and South America. They kind of overlap. 17,000. It gets confusing trying to find me. It takes a little work. However, like I mentioned, one Ambassador Terry Earth, Wind Nichols in the world. Bing search, Google search, whatever you got. You're right here on social media. You can look me up right here too. So that's not very hard as well. Also in the contact there's a button where you can schedule a short reach out Zoom meeting with me, and we could have a chat. Might even start a connection of some sort that who knows how long it'll be. And so that's about all I have today. People don't seem to come in, but maybe the recording of this will resonate, and you could reach out to me. And I hope to hear from some of you, not just today, next week, whenever. When the connection is there, it will happen in right time. Okay. Thanks for being with me today, and hopefully we can talk in no, hopefully